Why, hello there. Hi there. Hi. It's here we are on the regularly scheduled Friday Troubadorkery, the non-commute show right here in the house known as Ororoki and the room known as Away in an undisclosed location in San Antonio, Texas. It's me, Tobias the Adequate, once a magician, now due to a printing error, a musician. So today's show had a couple of changes happen because, well, that's how life works. And one of the things that happened is that I discovered there is such a thing as rehearsing and practicing a song way too much. Hey, Kelzer, how are ya? First, indeed, you are the first comment as well. Ah, the old tradition of shouting first when you make a comment on a comment board that has not had comment on it. But I digress. So, I was gonna play Diggy Diggy Hole again, because I need to get some air miles on that, but I've discovered that there is such a thing as rehearsing it way too much. Hey, you can always tune in a little bit, and depending on your bandwidth, you can always stream some stuff on your phone. I know a couple of people that do that as they're doing their regular daily stuff, but that does require bandwidth, and if, you know, bandwidth is a premium, that's the word, then we'll do what we do. Anyway, I discovered it's such a thing as practicing a song way too much with someone you love in the room or near the room. So we took that off and we went back to it. There it is. So I took that off and put something else back in. Tomorrow we're gonna go visiting. Yes, song overload is definitely an thing. And I'm happy you're here, Kay, because we're going to open the show with, yep, you guessed it, a certain thing that somebody's been threatening. I won't mention what the threat is yet, but someone here knows. Do you know my friend from Faire? Do you know my friend from Faire? 4 foot taller, and he's got browner sandy hair, and he has a hat and tankard, and he wears these great big boots, and he wanders around in a loincloth or one of them doublet suits. Yep. Very distinctive. Do you know my friend from Faire? Do you know my friend from Faire? A unique individual no one else can compare, for they always sing or juggle as they go about the town, and he always has a great big sword that ought to narrow it down. I'm shifting back and forth between they and he, and I'll tell you why at the end of the song. Do you know my friend from Faire? Do you know my friend from Faire? If you saw him coming down the lane, you'd have to stop and stare. Don't recall if it's pickles, pretzels, or if it's popcorn that they sell. You can hear him coming from a mile away on account of that he wears bells. Jingle bang, jingle, like a Morris dancer in a minefield. Do you know my friend from Faire? Do you know my friend from Faire? Coolest guy in all the world, I truly do declare. If you saw my friend in person, then you'd know of whom I speak, for he dresses like a pirate. Now isn't that unique? Yep, a pirate with pointy ears. Elf pirate. and gossamer wings, fairy, elf, pirate, and a kilt. Scottish, fairy, elf, pirate, and horns. Demon, Scottish, fairy, elf, pirate, and fangs. Vampire, demon, Scottish, fairy, elf, pirate, and leather goggles with gears on them. Steampunk, vampire, demon, Scottish, fairy, elf, pirate. And big, furry boots. Barbarian, steampunk, vampire, demon, Scottish, fairy, elf, pirate. Very proud of that one. Oh, and a foxtail. No one knows why. Do you know my friend from Faire? I think I saw him over there. His name is Wolf or Hawk or Raven, or I think it might be Bear. Well, we've never met outside of Faire, but I'm sure he'll be along. Hey, wait a minute. I'm talking about him. I guess I'll end this song. And there we are, off and running. Woo! Like a freshly steamed... Oh, we're off and running. Smooth as well-oiled salad. Rapid as a freshly steamed pork bun. I have no idea what that means, but I started freshly steamed and it just kind of went somewhere. But anyway, two very important things. Number one, K has threatened to dress up as the character I am describing, and one day K is going to do that, and I'm going to have a real hard time completing the song. The other thing, is that one of my friends, and probably one of your friends from Faire, has been reassessing who they are, and they have decided to alter their name, and they were looking at using the friend from Faire as a surname. And they actually asked me if it was okay because I had written this song, and I said yes, because why wouldn't it be? People define themselves as who they are, and it is a never-ending process. I did not... Yeah, you're missing the horns and wings. Lovely. I'll put a propeller beanie on there just in case. But that's an inside joke that me, Coy, and maybe one other person who watches this feed might get. Anyway, but I digress. Honestly, they're going to carve that on my tombstone. We are all in the process of defining ourselves. 8 years ago, I would have never, ever thought that I'd be playing music as what I do at Faire. That doesn't surprise me at all, okay? Ooh, nice tension. There, resolved. We get to decide who we are on this planet, in this culture, in this world, and I think that's very important. And anybody that tells you otherwise is a jerk. So we'll just leave that there. For the moment, we're going to return to jerks deciding who people are allowed to be probably in a couple of songs from now. Now, I was going to say I was going to do Diggy Diggy Hole, but we have reached song threshold, and so we're going to go instead with the other song, which is a song I wrote last year. I'm working on a couple more songs. This one I wrote last year at Sherwood, as a matter of fact. Mostly backstage, because the phrase useless magic sword just wandered through my head. It's like, I like bouncy songs. Maybe I should write another one. And so I decided to do so. By the way, this is the extra... I'm wearing a shirt that is roughly the same color as the back of my chair here. So I do not have epic shoulder pads. That's just an important note. So anyway... When I was just a lad, it was for adventure I did yearn. I went a-questing for the fame and glory I could earn. One night when I was rummaging an abandoned wyvern's hoard, 'twas then that I discovered me a useless magic sword. You can have one of those too, Kay. Useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. I'm questing for adventure with my useless magic sword. A useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. It did not come with instructions, it's my useless magic sword. The sword it was not very sharp, nor had a magic glow. I didn't know what it could do, nor where that it could go, so I took me to a scholar, the very best I could afford. He looked at it and said, "My son, it's a useless magic sword." I knew that. Useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. I'm questing for adventure with my useless magic sword. A useless magic sword, it's my useless magic sword. It did not come with instructions, it's my useless magic sword. It's important to finish the word. It's true. I went to fight a dragon because that's just what heroes do. I thought I'd make my legend on the lizards that I slew. Dragon cocked his head off to one side. With laughter he then roared, "It's embarrassing to be here with this useless magic sword." It says +0 on the hilt. Useless magic sword, it's my useless magic sword. I'm questing for adventure with my useless magic sword. A useless magic sword, it's my useless magic sword. It did not come with instructions, it's my useless magic sword. I tried so hard to rid me of the stupid metal stick. I tried the classic methods, but they did not do the trick. To stuff the sword into a stone, I mightily did try. The stupid thing bounced off the thing, got me in right in the eye. Ow! +1 against myself? Useless magic sword, it's my useless magic sword. I'm questing for adventure with my useless magic sword. A useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. It did not come with instructions, it's my useless magic sword. I was getting mighty desperate, rash action I did take. I got a boat and rowed to meet the lady in the lake. I threw it in the water, but she didn't speak a word. She threw it back, she didn't want my useless magic sword. Now on paper, those two lines should rhyme. And they don't. And I'm upset about it. Useless magic sword, it's my useless magic sword. I'm questing for adventure with my useless magic sword. The useless magic sword, it's my useless magic sword. It did not come with instructions, it's my useless magic sword. Now that's the slow part, and it slows down, and people will often start clapping right after I do that because they think the song has ended. So when I actually play this live, I tell people I'm just slowing down. It's not the actual end of the song. Now, this seems a bit awkward to do on a live stream, but I feel that in this time and in this place, it's appropriate to make note of it. The years have passed, I've gotten old, I've never found my fame, and this stupid hunk of metal doesn't even have a name. So I stuffed this straight into the floor, wedged in between the boards. I used it as a coat rack, now my useless magic sword. Oh, it does have a purpose. I love a happy ending, don't you? Useless magic sword, it's my useless magic sword. I'm questing for adventure with my useless magic sword. A useless magic sword, it's my useless magic sword. And I use it as a coat rack, now my useless magic sword. Oh. And there we go. If you're carving things on your tombstone, then I don't think you actually need a tombstone. That is true. I'm actually going to be donating my body to science fiction. But we are going to see about putting a couple of benches somewhere, and we're going to put our names on them so people can hang out on the benches and tell stories and just generally be Excalibur.gif, yes. The best part of it is, Koi, the best part of that is that I'm not even sure if that's because of the 2-minute gap that Facebook has on when I sing these things and when people can hear them and the reaction to it. I actually did true story when I was doing the Kerrville Renaissance Festival for the first weekend I was out. First weekend I was playing a big stage, which is where all the food was. It was Little Tobias, great big huge stage. And I was telling people, I tell people that when I'm slowing down, this is not the actual end of the song. So if you start clapping, I'm going to keep singing. It's just going to be awkward. And there's one person very back of the very back of the food area, Boothie, who managed to clap inappropriately every single time I did it. That is 8 shows total that week. So it became part of the act now. Yeah. Now, inappropriate premature applause. Yes. I'm not done, and I may not be that good. Don't clap yet. About the next song. It is one of my bouncy songs. It is one that works beautifully for Renaissance Festival and convention crowds. They always get into it. Its source material is problematic. And I mention this because there are a couple of directions we can go with this. And one of them is that where it came from and the roots it came from are now so deeply embedded in the zeitgeist. Premature adulation, yes. Are so embedded in the zeitgeist that it has a life of its own above and beyond the fact that the person who came up with it is now becoming a walking dumpster fire. We'll just put it that way. Also, the fact that when we came up with it, I was literally making a riff on the concept, and I don't use any of the other intellectual property, and no one has copyrighted the word wizard. TSR tried to. It did not go well. Oh, that was a fun time. Elder geeks among you will remember this. So I feel I'm fairly in the clear, and also the fact that there's no way on God's green earth that it's ever going to become part of the official canon. So it's actually part of my own stupid world. And Amy actually suggested that the name actually may have come from the fact that a bunch of magic-using people got on flying mops and they had a squid and they were just trying to ditch the squid, from which we get the name of the song, which is SQUIDDITCH. Yes, SQUIDDITCH, SQUIDDITCH, the little-known and less understood seafaring magic user game of the world of people who use magic. Ding! Michael Van Slyke drew this, and I do have a button featuring Oswald the recklessly flung squid, and when I do get some additional fair, appropriate favors, I think I'm probably going to have, have one made. And I gotta wait for the ping to come. There we go. There. And K to Steampunk November. And people were gleefully tossing it about lightly like a beach ball, not violently like a dodgeball. And then I actually got, yes, Cuthbert the Cuttlefish. You're still not sorry. And I was thoroughly squidded at the end of at the end of one of the song sets. And I am deeply entertained by it. It did make it hard to do the song because I was so dang amused by what was going on. And y'all are just too damn good to me. So there's that. There are valiant wizards the world around who seek and block and fly to G7. But those wizards fly above the ground, they drop too fast, they die. Us sailing wizards have a game that's grand from start to finish. I speak, of course, a legendary seafaring game of Squidditch. Remember, lightly, like a beach ball, not violently, like a dodgeball. Oh, mount your mops and soar above the briny waves so blue. We flit and fly and drink and try to score a point or two. No puny ball would have the gall to blood your sternum hit, and you also have the chance to belt your best friend with a squid. Yay, Squidditch! Now, when I wrote the song, I realized that was the only time I actually mentioned the dang game in the entire song, so I've added a rousing cheer of Yay, Squidditch to the chorus. And when I did this at the cottage pub indoors on Saturday, when I said a rousing cheer of Yay, Squidditch at the end, what they would do is they would just cheer randomly, which shows me what it's like to play for a bunch of people who pre-gamed violently before the show. Load up on rum and bring your chum shine up your flying mop. For the game is played from dusk till dawn until all the sailors drop. No points are scored, no numbered board will tell you if you've won. But if all of us are in the drink, I guess the game is done. 'Cause there's no such thing as water Squidditch. There's just a look. Everybody's falling off their mops and entering the ocean, mate. Oh, mount your mops and soar above the briny waves of blue. We flit and fly and drink and try to score a point or two. No puny ball would have the gall to blunt your sternum mid, and you also have the chance to belt your best friend with a squid. Yay, Squidditch! A game of skill and daring, it calls for all your wit and luck. If you see a cephalopod fly by, well, I'd suggest you duck, for you have to stay upon your mop, and that takes all your wits. For a squid will try to cuddle just whatever it is it hits. Which is why the scientific term for a squid is, and I looked it up on the internet, so they wouldn't lie, cuttlefish. Not sorry, oh, mount your mops and soar above the briny waves so blue. We flit and fly and drink and try to score a point or two. No puny ball would have the gall to blood your sternum mid, and you also have the chance to belt your best friend with a squid. Yay, Squidditch! The game is passed on far too fast, we all are in the drink, and you cannot tell whose team is which because of all the ink. It's a squid. So I guess that means the game is done. The squid has swum away, it escaped. Let's clean up ourselves and go dry off and brag about the day. Because no matter how many times you tell it, the story of how one of your best buds caught a squid right in the face never gets old. Oh, mount your mops and soar above the briny waves so blue. We flit and fly and drink and try to score a point or two. No puny ball would have the gall to blood your sternum mid, and you also have the chance to belt your best friend with a squid. One more time. That's right. Mount your mops and soar above the briny waves so blue. We flit and fly and drink and try to score a point or two. No puny ball would have the gall to blood your sternum mid, and you also have the chance to belt your best friend with a squid. You also have the chance to belt your best friend with a squid. The point of this game is you can belt your best friend with a squid. Yay, Squidditch! Olay! Well, I feel better. That is a song that people clap to, and I prefaced my shows at Sherwood with the fact that I have the utmost faith in the British audience to maintain a downbeat. And it gets every bit of the kind of reaction you would expect. And Rob, the squid don't actually punch, it's the octopi who punch. Fish puncher, the octopus, is in fact back here now, holding on to a skunk plushie for dear life. There was an owl plushie that was hanging on to, but it looked like the owl was trying to escape. So, Amy rearranged things just a little bit. Show 100, 290. Holy crap. Been doing this now for 2020, 2021, 2022, 4 years. That's definitely a thing that is happening right now. We will make it to show 300, and God only knows what's going to happen then. I tried to record, probably a special 300th episode, if and when that happens. If we stick with mostly doing shows on Fridays, with the occasional show when I'm confined to quarters or working from home or on vacation, or probably my birthday, because that's a thing we do now. We will do a 300 episode whenever that happens. And as it gets closer, which will be in 9 more shows, we'll try to figure out what's going on. So roughly 9 weeks, maybe. Stranger things have happened in less time. So yeah, we're going to go visit Sherwood tomorrow. And it's going to be lovely. And actually got to participate, as I said, in the pub sing at Sherwood, which was neat. Terrifying. Here I am with actual musicians, because this guy. And I will be, the weekend after that, I will begin my 2-weekend run at Sherwood. The weekends, the days of April 1 and 2, and April 8 and 9, I will be out there on the Villagers Square stage. Probably somewhere. Doing at least 3 shows, maybe 4. We'll work out how that all works as we go along. Matthew will play his deadly exploding ukulele. I have a very strict no explosions policy these days, Rob, since the incident. And now we've come to the moment you've all been waiting for. That's right, the last show in the set today. I decided, since this was my lining up and practicing for things show and my lining up and practicing for things weekend, we're going to try that out. We're also going to try some other things. Some other things are going to happen during the week that might improve or otherwise alter my existence, and we'll get into those later on. Yeah. This song was literally written as not so much a plea for help as kind of a method of kvetching healthily, venting, because let's be honest about this. I've been called this a lot over the past 4 years. A little bit ahead then, too, because I don't think I am a bard, but I'm beginning to get more comfortable with the idea that I might be, maybe, eventually. People say that because I write some songs, I might just be a bard, but writing songs is really fun. It's really not that hard. I call myself the Troubadork. That B word has me jarred, because while I am not a bard, I've frequently been barred. I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the boards, I have been barred. Except for the cottage pub. Hootenannies will not have me, nor will any open mic. I can play whatever song I please, but nowhere that I like. People want me to pay for my sins, but music should be free. And while I can play wherever I please, no place is pleased with me. And I was just talking about throwing squid at people, so I don't know. Can't please everyone. I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, I have been barred. I may be a humble poetaster, a poet not so good. I just want my songs to come out right like any sane man would. But the people, when they hear my songs, react with low regard, just because they see my music left them emotionally scarred. I haven't even sung the song about defenestration yet. Yes, there may be some live ads for Oscar Hasselhoff's book during his School of Sword. I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, I have been barred. So my friends, you now all know my tale, take pity on my plight. Some of us just want to play our stuff and pray it comes out right. If you hear your humble Troubadork, please do not run away. As I stagger through this world, searching for somewhere I can play. So it looks like I'm going to get Kerrville next year. I'm doing Sherwood again. Might do Sherwood Celtic. We'll see what else comes up. As I am now officially moved from part-time professional to full-time amused, entertained amateur. Feels good, man. I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, oh yeah! I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, and I've been feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, I have been barred. That was a good way to end that song. I've never done that before. I feel very good about that. Special non-Mordecai non-exploding you. That's right. Exactly 0 explosions at the Tobias the Adequate Troubadork show. All good things must come to an end, and while this may not qualify, I still gotta stop for now. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. You folks hanging out with me during these things makes it so much easier to do, because I am a social creature, and I'm one of them weirdly social creatures that needs this kind of interaction. We are not under lockdown, but we all do have our lives, and we are all off in various and different directions at all times. So the fact that you can come and watch this show, either live or in repeats, because I know I'm big in syndication, really means a lot to me. So thank you. Because without you there, this would be close to a health check, a welfare check right there. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Be kind, be safe, be sane, be silly. Fight fire with marshmallows. Trans rights. And above all else, to thine own self be true. And if you cannot figure out what is true for yourself, try on different truths until you find one that works well. Never treat people like things. Ever. Don't make me come out there. You folks have been wonderful. You've been marvelous. You've been, I feel, undeservedly kind. You've been wonderful. I've been Tobias the Adequate. Thank you once again for encouraging my behavior. I will see you all next time.